ladies and gentlemen, the honorable judges, timekeeper, moderator, and our bill of partner. Ladies and gentlemen, we from government team totally agree with this motion. To make the debate clear and focused, we'd like to begin by defining the motion first. In this motion, AI in climate change refers to the use of advanced computational systems that support environmental decision making by analyzing large-scale climate data, detecting patterns, and generating prediction to improve mitigation and adapting strategies. Its role is not to replace human decision making, but to enhance the speed and accuracy of responses to environmental risks. Ladies and gentlemen, the systems are already reflected in real-world applications such as satellite-based monitoring tools, climate modeling platform, and predictional environmental system used by government and research institutions to track deforestation, forecast weather patterns, and plan urban development more sustainably. Widespread implementation refers to the widespread and integrated use of AI in various sectors related to climate change mitigation and environmental protection, such as meteorological technology, land use mapping, and settlement planning. Ladies and gentlemen, to understand the urgency we would like to see in current situation, extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and instant, sea level continue to rise, and ecosystems are increasingly destabilized, showing that the situation is already beyond simple prevention and has entered urgent damage control. Because of this scale, the main challenge is now mitigation, preventing further worsening of condition and reducing additional harm. Ladies and gentlemen, however, in this current status quo, human capability alone struggle to keep up with the speed and complexity of these environmental changes, as data processing, prediction, and coordination decision-making remain relatively slow and fragmented. This results in delayed and less effective response to climate risk. Ladies and gentlemen, on the other hand, the widespread implementation of AI enables faster data analysis, more precise environmental mapping, and predictive capabilities that allow for earlier and more efficient intervention. Ladies and gentlemen, therefore, when comparing both conditions, relying on conventional method alone is no longer sufficient, and adopting AI become a necessary step to achieve more effective climate mitigation and environmental protection. Ladies and gentlemen, we believe that the purpose of this motion is to address the limitation of current climate mitigation effort, particularly in terms of speed, accuracy, and efficiency. Therefore, we aim to create a system where decision making is driven by faster, data-driven, and more precise technology. Ladies and gentlemen, I will explain my argument first. Our first argument is that in dealing with climate change, which is becoming increasingly unpredictable, the speed in understanding situation and responding to environmental threats become a crucial factor. And this is where AI shows a very significant advantage. We are no longer living in a stable environmental context. Today, we see how floods can suddenly occur, wildfires can spread within a very short time, and weather patterns are becoming increasingly difficult to predict using conventional methods. In situations like this, even a small delay in detection can lead to a much large difference in impact. AI works in a fundamentally different way. It is able to process multiple types of environmental data at the same time in real time and integrate them into a single system of analysis. Ladies and gentlemen, this means that information from different sources is no longer read separately but combined into one continuously understanding of environmental condition. The benefit of this simultaneous and integrated processing is that decision making becomes significantly faster and more accurate. Instead of waiting for separate reports or sequential analysis, AI allows all relevant signals to be interpreted at once, reducing delays and minimizing gaps in understanding. In a context like climate change, where conditions can shift rapidly, the speed and consistently directly determines how early threat can be identified and addressed. Ladies and gentlemen, because of this, the impact on mitigation is substantial. Earlier detection and more precise prediction allow responses to happen before risks escalate into full-scale disasters. The shift climate action from reacting after damage occurs to preventing damage at an earlier stage. Even small improvement in prediction and response time can translate into significant reduced environmental and human losses when scaled across large high-risk region. This is also why big AI becomes the most effective approach in climate mitigation. Traditional systems rely heavily on human interpretation, which is limited by time, capacity, and fragmented data processing. Ladies and gentlemen, other technology may improve specific part of the system, but they do not integrate data, prediction, and respond at the same speed and scale. Ladies and gentlemen, AI is the only tool that can continuously learn from real-time data, adapt its prediction, and support decision making across multiple environmental domains simultaneously. In a problem as complex and fast changing as climate change, this level of integration is what makes AI uniquely positioned as the strongest solution available. Of course, moving toward a system that relies heavily on large scale data processing and digital infrastructure also requires technology readiness and access distribution that is not always equal. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and this is where AI plays a very important role as it shortens the distance between data and decision making. In the end, in a situation where time is a critical factor, system that can rate and respond faster will always have the greatest impact in reducing risk and minimizing losses. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we believe our solution is the best. It solves the problem and gives real benefit. Therefore, we from government team totally agree with this motion. Thank you.